So let's talk about the data age, because we're living right in the middle of it. Every single time you stream a movie, swipe a card, or just use your GPS, you're not just a user, you're actually a creator. You're creating data, and you're part of this massive global explosion of information that's changing, well, pretty much everything. So let's dive in and try to get a handle on the incredible scale of this new era.
Okay, I want you to look at this number and just burn it into your brain. 163. Experts are forecasting that that's how big our global data sphere is going to be by 2025. We're talking 163 times zettabytes. But what on earth is a zettabyte?
You ready for this? A single zettabyte is 1 trillion gigabytes. I mean, to put that in perspective, if you tried to download just 1 zettabyte of data on a pretty fast home internet connection, it would take you almost 2,000 years to finish. Yeah, we are talking about a scale of information that is almost impossible to imagine. And that scale? That's exactly why people have started calling this period in history the zettabyte era. The sheer amount of data that we create, capture, and copy is just growing at this absolutely mind-boggling rate.
And just look at the speed of this growth. Back in 2016, the entire world generated about 16 zettabytes of data. Not bad. But by 2025, that number is projected to jump all the way to 163. That's a tenfold increase in less than 10 years. The pace is just staggering.
Now, if you want a stat that really shows the acceleration we're in, here it is. Think about this for a second. Of all the data that's ever been created since, the dawn of computers, a whopping 90% of it was generated in just the last 2 years. This isn't some gradual climb. It's a rocket launch.
So how in the world do we even begin to make sense of this data explosion? Well, lucky for us, analysts came up with a pretty simple but really powerful way to think about it. It's known as the 5 V's, and it helps break down what makes big data so different from, well, just data.
Okay, first up, we've got volume. That's the 163 zettabytes we were just talking about. Just a mountain of data. Next is velocity, which is the incredible speed that data is created and zips around the globe. Then you've got variety, right? This isn't just numbers in a spreadsheet. It's everything from text and images to totally unstructured stuff like video and audio files. The fourth V is veracity. This is all about how trustworthy the data is. Is it accurate or is it kind of messy and unreliable? And finally, you have what might be the most important V of all, value. Because let's be honest, if we can't turn all this information into some kind of useful insight, it's all just digital noise.
So you have to be wondering, where is all this data actually coming from? Well, a huge driver of this growth is something you are almost definitely using every single day, probably without even thinking about it: the Internet of Things, or IoT.
Get this, by 2025, it's estimated that the average connected person will have nearly 4,800 digital interactions every single day. And that's not just you tapping on your phone. We're talking about your smartwatch, your smart thermostat, your security cameras, even your car, all constantly talking to each other.
Let's just break that down. That's one interaction every 18 seconds. For most of us, this is all just going to happen in the background of our lives, as all the devices around us are constantly communicating, creating this seamless and absolutely massive river of data. And, of course, all that data has to go somewhere. Your laptop definitely can't handle it. This is where cloud computing becomes absolutely essential. You can think of it like a global network of super powerful computers that provides not only the immense storage, but also, and this is the crucial part, the processing power to analyze these massive data streams in real time from anywhere in the world.
Which brings us to the really big question. Why should any of us care? Well, we should care because this data is becoming critical to our lives. It holds some incredible promise, for sure, but it also comes with some really significant risks.
You can think of it like two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have the promise. Big data helps businesses run way more efficiently, and it's helping scientists create individualized cancer treatments. I mean, amazing stuff. But on the other side, there's the peril. Every new device connected to the internet is another potential security risk, and every piece of data we collect raises some really deep privacy concerns. This tension, this is at the very heart of what's called the big data gap.
And looking at this, you can really see that gap. It's kind of shocking. Despite all this data we're creating, studies show that less than 1% of it is ever actually analyzed for insights. 1%. And what's maybe even more worrying is the security problem. While pretty much all data needs some kind of protection, less than half of it is actually secured.
That leaves this vast ocean of information both untapped for its potential value and just dangerously vulnerable.
Okay, so we've seen the scale and the source, the promise and the peril. It's pretty clear that just collecting mountains of data isn't the point, right? That's not the finish line. The real frontier, the real challenge of the zettabyte era, is figuring out how to turn all that raw data into something that's genuinely meaningful.
You know, this quote just nails it. The goal isn't just about managing the volume or the velocity of data, it's about finding the value. That's the central challenge, but it's also the ultimate promise of this whole new age we're in. And so at the end of the day, it leaves us with a really critical question. As our data becomes truly life-critical, as it powers our self-driving cars and manages our health, the stakes have never been higher. So how are we going to bridge that big data gap to make sure this incredible resource is used wisely, ethically, and securely? That's really the challenge for all of us here in the zettabyte era.